I'm going to be showing us how I made this emotional R&B type beats. Let's see. Hey, what's up guys, it's your boy Chris Beats and I'm here with another breakdown of R&B type beats. Okay, so today I'm just going to be sharing with us what I did with this emotional type R&B beats for some of us who love to create R&B beats and want to make it emotional, very soulful. Let's see what I have with this particular beat right here. Okay, so that's pretty much the beats. Okay, what's going on here? To create R&B emotional type beats, the first thing you have to consider is your chords. Your chords has to set the tone for the beat. And in this case, I'm using some sounds to highlight my chords. Okay, so the first thing is me using a pad from the Peculiar Sound patch. It's called the DP pad, Dubby Paul pad 1. Okay, it's called the DP pad 1, and it has its sound texture just like this. So that's how the DP pad, sound. So that ambience is being created by the pad. I use that to create the ambience that I need for this beat. Then I did a layering with another sound from the Peculiar Sounds too as well. And I like using the Peculiar Sounds when it comes to R&B type beats. It just gives that soulful sound patches that I need. And this time I'm using the glide roads. Okay, so I had to layer what I have with the DP pad with the glide roads. So just giving that extra meat, to the progression. Okay, still working on the progression, I brought in my ballad piano. Okay, my ballad piano is still coming from the Peculiar Sounds as well. And my ballad piano is quite highlighting, a melodic note, of which I added a reverb to it. So listen. So basically that piano is just giving a melodic feel to the progression that is already existed. Then I have a DX EP, a very old DX EP that I used just to also spice the chord progression as well. Listen. So it's just giving that extra to the progression, and basically that is the entire progression. So for you to set the tone for emotional type beats, you have to start with your chord progression and also the patches that you choose is very, very important when you are creating these progressions. Okay, so moving on then, after setting that, I started bringing in my drums. You have to bring in your kick, your snare, your percussion, and I was doing that bit by bit. So with the kick basically setting the groove of the beats, okay, is doing this. Okay, so that's basically what the beat is doing. Then of course I'm cutting in my snare in between as the beat is giving that, setting that groove, just to have that R&B emotional texture. So there's something I did with the snare, that I layered the snare in order to have that huge snap. Okay, what I did was to layer the snare with a clap and add a reverb to the clap. So here you can see my clap. I layered it to the snare and added a reverb, which made the click of that snare have a very hard punch. Listen to it. Not just the reverb that's working on that clap, also a delayed VST plugin which I used is also being imputed on the clap. Okay, so you have that snap and it just echoes. So I like that echo feel in the beat. Then brought in my hats. Of course, for this type of beats, I need my percussions going on as well. So to form the full groove, to form that full tight texture of the R&B beat. So listen to it with the chords of the piano. So basically that's what's going on, with the chord progression and the drums. Okay, so the next thing is actually for me to bring in my bass. And what I did, I also picked from my favorite VST plugin for R&B beats, Peculiar Sounds, and I actually used the DP bass. But this time I layered that bass with a lead synth, a 5-lead synth, to have a broad kind of texture. Okay, so I needed also that broad texture and the dirtiness into it. So having the 5-lead and the DP bass, you have this very wild texture. Listen. So that's one trick I usually use in my R&B beats when I'm, working with the bass. I like to add, taking that bass with a lead synth sound, so it makes it more thick and more rich, gives it that very strong vibe. Then of course, emotional R&B beats, you can do it without, having a very beautiful vocal chop. And I use my vocal chop here, and pretty much it's just giving that sweet texture to the entire groove and the entire beat. then of course I added my reverse effect, which introduces every section of the song. So basically that is the entire beat. I'm going to let us listen to the beats, okay, so we get to have the entire structure of what's going on. So let's go.